I think for a lot of us to continue crafting for my audience, crafting their favorite crafts in their home and still having a print on demand business, I think is becoming a quite a bit normal here in our
Mhm.
community, which has been awesome.
We're kind of unique in kind of this POD tool space where we don't charge anything per order. So you still get to keep 100% of your profits. We know everybody starting out isn't able to kind of do everything you want right out of the gate, right?
Yeah.
But it can really be a big benefit. I mean,
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to introduce you to Chris Meets, the founder of Anywhere POD, and he is going to dive in and share with us probably way more than even I know about personalizing your print on demand listings. Chris, welcome to the show.
thanks for having me on, Tanner. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to get in the details with you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's dive in. My number one question after we started talking about your company here in my offices, I was like, where in the world did this guy come from? Sounds like you have such a really cool background. And I think it builds such rapport knowing where you came from. So tell us about your background that led you to being in such a hyper, in my opinion. I mean, your niche and your service is such a specific product and service for the right person that could like way more than 10x their sales on Etsy. So like how did you end up here?
Yeah. So, I mean, we really do offer a very kind of unique tool set at Anywhere POD, and it's kind of a brainchild of many years of helping sellers on Etsy. So, I actually started working for as kind of a more smaller regional print on demand fulfillment company back in like 2016. So this really was still, I mean, you
Wow.
think 2016, that's really still pretty early days of print on demand on Etsy. Because,
Sure.
originally Etsy was handmade only. They didn't allow
Yes.
like anything else outside of that. Still considered a handmade marketplace, but the handmade portion is the design that you're creating by hand, right? So I
Yes.
think it was the 2015, 2016 timeframe when they first started letting on POD suppliers on Etsy. Our company was not too far after that. So it was really early days. So this was like 2016, 2017 timeframe. And I was in charge of basically all of the tech for this company. So
Cool.
we had built integrations, always highly focused on personalization. Of course, back then in 2017, now you can at least like turn on a box to tell the customer, hey, this is where you should enter your personalization. Back then, we were having to pull it out of the order notes. Like Etsy didn't even
Dang.
have that.
Very
They didn't even
manual,
have that
very
feature yet.
like
Yeah,
that's
yeah. So
awesome.
we were still semi automating it. So went on to build apps for Etsy and Amazon and WordPress and Shopify and eBay and did a lot with them. But kind of throughout, I've come from a tech background. So like even in my daily life, when I run into something that's like this manual task that is very repetitive that you have to do over and
Yeah.
over every time, or if I have to like copy and paste, like that just gets it drives me
Yeah.
nuts. Like I got to figure out a way to automate it, right? So along the way of helping all these Etsy sellers, I would always see all these other things that was a real manual process that just made it take so long to actually get a listing live. Whether it's
Sure.
the SEO research that you have to do, or you got to go somewhere else and create all of your own mock-ups manually every time. If you want to do like a group listing, you're copying and pasting SKUs back and forth and hoping that you're not making mistakes. So
Yeah.
I kind of saw the traditional way of creating products for print on demand on Etsy. You would go to the supplier and create the product, but you're not done yet. You still have, five other subscriptions and 2 hours worth of work before you're actually able to launch that product. So
Yeah.
my mind was always thinking, oh man, I wish I could automate that. I wish I could automate that. So a couple years ago, that company I was working for was kind of getting out of the POD game. And I thought, well, maybe I can take all these ideas that I had accumulated over, close to a decade of things that I wanted to do and kind of have been working on putting all those into Anywhere POD to bring the product to life that we have today. So,
Amazing. So, for anyone watching, we even in our curriculum and our programs that we offer, we are just now feeling like we're at a place where we feel comfortable teaching personalization and, adding it for our roster. For anyone here who has print on demand or has been dabbling in wanting to do print on demand but wanted to offer personalization, I see that as like actually a drawback. Like a lot of people think they
Hmm.
can't do print on demand and offer personalization. For anyone that's like
Yeah.
so brand new to the conversation, may not even know what your software is, can you tell them what it eliminates and what it automates?
Yeah. So, main thing is personalization, right? That's the big thing that we're talking about today. So when we're talking about personalization, it's giving your customer, so the customer that's purchasing your item on Etsy, to actually be able to customize the artwork that's getting printed on the coffee mug or t-shirt or
Yes.
whatever product you're selling, right? So traditionally, to offer personalized products on Etsy, you would get the text from the customer. But then once you receive that order, you're having to take that text, retype it onto your artwork, re-download the image. Depending on the supplier, then sometimes you have to go and create either a manual order or re-upload it somewhere else. I mean, you've got
A
easily,
lot of
easily
work.
three to 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how complicated you get per order, right? So you can
Yes.
imagine it doesn't take very many sales a day to where you kind of get to the point that you're dreading getting sales on that personalized listing because of the
Yeah.
extra work that you have to do. So our software is able to automate that entire process. So if you have a coffee mug that you build in Anywhere POD that you want them to put their name on or their father or grandfather nickname,
Sure.
whether it's granddad or whatever, they can actually, while they're checking out on Etsy, type in that text. The order will import to Anywhere POD. We'll read the text the customer entered, automatically add it and swap it out on your artwork for you with the same font, color, everything that you have set up, and automatically create that artwork for you so then it can go
Dang.
off and be produced without a bunch of manual work. So
Yeah.
that's really kind of the simplest layer of personalization. We also do a lot with like clip art or images and a lot of kind of other stuff besides text that
Okay.
we can help automate and make a lot easier as well. So there's a ton of features, and I'm sure people will see when they go to Anywhere POD, there's a lot of stuff listed there, right? Like
Yeah.
we offer a lot, but we really try to focus on whether you're that brand new Etsy seller that's just getting into print on demand, you're the, grandma sitting at home, just want to make a couple extra bucks selling mugs, but you're
Okay.
not a techie person. You're able to use the software, but it's still powerful enough that if you want to get into doing like a grandma's garden design where they can put in the birth flowers and names and all that type of stuff,
Wow.
it's flexible enough to do all of that
Okay.
as well.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
cool. For you, I mean, yours integrates with other print on demand providers. Like it's like yours
Hmm.
is a hub and it is kind of just like, the keeping it together and the starting point and then distributes
Right.
out, right?
Right. Yeah. So, a good way to think about it is that we are kind of your hub. So, another benefit is we have 8 different print providers that we are working with right now, more on the way. We've got probably
Of course.
half a dozen or more kind of in the works of one way or another of onboarding with us. So the nice thing is no matter what supplier you want to sell products through, you don't have to go relearn their system to be able to list products, right? So
Amazing.
any of the suppliers that we have, once you learn how to build a product once on Anywhere POD, it is the same regardless of any, whatever supplier you want to use. As long as it's integrated with Anywhere POD, you've already learned what you need to do. It's the exact same process for
Yeah.
every single product from every single supplier. So it makes that process a lot easier for you.
Amazing.
One of the other kind of areas that we focus on at Anywhere POD are these print suppliers that it's hard to find their products, right? So we've got a
Yeah.
few in particular, one that comes top of mind is Decoplate. They sell sublimated platters and place settings and that sort of thing. And their product, it's not on Printify, it's not with any of the big people. They don't have a direct integration with Etsy, the supplier itself. So it's one of those products that has great search volume on Etsy, low competition because it's not out there all over the place, really good profit margins, 100% made in the USA. Like you just can't find this product
Right.
other places. And you have that available through Anywhere POD to be able to automate that entire process. So besides kind of the common suppliers that you're used to seeing, we also really kind of focus on these kind of unique products that you're not able to
Yeah.
find other places, that we're really excited about some of the ones that we have coming up for that as well.
That's awesome. I'm super,
Yeah.
super excited. I mean, we love it. And just from what we've been seeing with personalization, and I've been trying to articulate this in like a way of like, personalization is more work on the upfront, but once you do the work, in my opinion, from my research, you just naturally have less competition. The barrier to enter is a little
Hmm.
bit more challenging.
Yep.
It takes a little bit more advanced, setup because it is more work. It's not, obviously with platforms like yours, it can simplify that. But for most of us that are new to Etsy, it wouldn't be the first thing we jump to. So I love thinking of, you've got your shop started, you're looking to maximize your sales, keep people coming back. One thing about personalization I love is that, yes, people buy one-off things, but a lot of times with bachelorette parties, family reunions, like that is some
Oh
bulk
yeah.
orders there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, anytime you can find something that is something that your competition's not willing to do, you're going to find a little bit of that edge, right?
Yeah.
So it can be a little bit more on the setup process to begin with, especially if you get into like group listings. Um, but really, we kind of make that setup process. We have a direct integration with Canva. So
No
if you've already got your
way.
design, yeah, if you've already got your design done on Canva, you've got text and everything set up, you can literally click one button in Anywhere POD. It'll pull in that entire design, not just as a PNG, which saves tons of time, not having to download and re-upload. Like it's one of those little things that until you don't have to mess with PNGs, you don't realize how big of a pain point it actually
Yeah.
is, right? But you can also bring it in as an editable template. So all of the layers that you add in Canva, it'll actually import into Anywhere POD as an editable template. So if you've already
Amazing.
designed in Canva, you click one button, it brings it over. All you have to do is check the little box that says personalize next to the text that you want
Mm,
personalized, and it's all completely set up for you. So it's really, really
dang.
cuts down the like setup time on some of those personalized products.
Wow. I mean, this is incredible. I love it. And you are constantly adding these new print providers. You're constantly doing things like making one click, like over migrations. It's so incredible. When you think about some of the people that have the most success with your software, what do they do that others don't? What would you say is some of the best kept secrets that you're seeing in your community that are, people that are crushing it with personalization? What do you see that they're doing that people need to pay attention to?
Yeah, so there's a couple things there. One is you kind of touched on it a minute ago on what I call group listings of being able to have, whether it's like family reunion shirts or cruise shirts or any of that type of thing, where on
Bachelorette,
Etsy, bachelorettes,
weekends in
bachelorette shirts
Nashville or
right
the
now are
beach.
going crazy. I was looking at some of that data
Huge.
today. They're going crazy on Etsy right now. We're getting into that
Yep.
wedding season. I mean, they're just really, really popping off. And like you said, those are really nice because they're ordering multiples. They're not just
Yeah.
ordering one and leaving. They're ordering two, three, four, five plus shirts on one order. Really, really makes a big difference. We streamline that process with Anywhere POD as well. So if you have different designs that you want to offer, like you want to have bridesmaid shirts, but you also want to have, in the same listing, they can have, the bridesmaid shirt, they can have the bride shirt, they can have the maid of honor shirt, they can have mother of the
Wow.
bride, and be able to select from those different designs and it all still be 100% automated. So you're not having to
Very cool.
click back and forth or copy and paste, do any of that. They can also select what product they want it on. So you can give them the choice of adding it to a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or a hoodie, and they can select what they want for each
Yeah.
design. So that's a huge, way to boost the average order value there, doing those like group style listings. They can do
Yeah.
really, really well for people for sure.
When it comes to group style listings, do you see that making a big impact on how Etsy prioritizes it? Because we have a lot of questions like that in our community, and it's a more, like I said, I would consider that a more advanced lever for the average, but it's something super awesome to monetize and be a part of. What would you say for the seller wanting to kind of dive more into the group listings? Would you say
Yeah,
that?
so Absolutely. I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, Etsy is going to prioritize what people want, what's selling, right? Like if you
Yeah.
think of like what is Etsy's goal? Like everybody talks about like the algorithm, oh, you need to do this or that for the algorithm. But if you think about what Etsy's goal is, right? Etsy's goal is in the number one spot in the search result to have a listing that whatever the search is, they want to buy, right?
Yeah.
So if they click onto your listing and they're looking for bridesmaids shirts and they realize, oh, well, there's not one that matches here for the bride, I need to go find a different listing for one that matches. That
Yeah.
lowers your conversion value, lowers your search result, lowers your search ranking, all that. So being able to have that where the customer is going to find everything they need in one stop can be a huge boost to your search results. A common strategy with that is to take so in this example that we're using of the bachelorette shirts, being able to
Yeah.
have both of those listed and then actually duplicate that listing on Etsy. So you have two listings. It's the same options, but you can gear the title and the main image towards the bride
Yes.
and the title and the main image towards the bridesmaids. Etsy's probably
Okay.
only going to rank one of them. We don't know
Right.
which one they're going to rank. So list them both, have them both on there with both of those options. You're able to tailor your SEO to each one, and you're kind of getting the best of both worlds where it's two separate listings, but you're also giving the customer that choice of which option they want.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. That's awesome. I mean, I really, we love teaching people once they have a title that's working, once they have something like that's really, being able to like run with, like keep doing it and like bring variations. And yeah,
Oh,
so you could
absolutely.
totally do that for these group listings. And again, they'll go up your order value. It totally, totally makes sense. Do you have any, you don't have to mention names or anything, but for people who already were doing well on Etsy, any examples of what happened once they added in personalization?
Yeah, so we had one seller that was selling a particular product on Etsy and was doing a really good job with it. I mean, they were getting it
Yeah.
was coming up to a holiday. It was an ultra personalized listing, but they were kind of doing it the old way, where they had
Mm,
themselves and I think three or four VAs that were working full time. And when I say full time, I'm not talking your standard 8 to 5, right? This was like all
oh
day.
wow.
They're trying to get out all the orders before this holiday cutoff, for the ship date
Sure.
for the upcoming holiday, and they were falling behind day after day. They were not able to keep up with the current volume of orders. They were talking about having to cancel orders, weren't really sure what they were going to do. Like they were talking, we need to shut down our listings, cancel all these open orders that we have. Like it was looking really bad for them at the time. They got connected with us. And within 24 hours, they had all of their top selling listings listed through and automated through Anywhere POD. The next day at 2 p.m., I got a message from the seller saying, "Hey, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my VAs tomorrow because we are 100% caught up. Not just for that day, but their entire
Dang.
backlog in less than 24 hours, they were able to get completely caught up. So it's the
Wow.
difference of having to spend 5+ minutes per order to literally, one minute or less to just approve that order with Anywhere POD. I
Yeah.
mean, it saved the holiday for her, and she's continued every holiday to really just completely crush it and be able to spend her time now on the money making tasks, right?
Yes.
Processing an order and having to spend all of your time servicing past orders or having to go create mock-ups, those aren't money making tasks, right? Money
Right.
making tasks is the research, is
It's the
creating new
research, the designing,
designs.
the yes,
Exactly.
the
Yep.
marketing, that's what
Yep.
we consider print on demand here. Like you're giving yourself a promotion to creative director. I mean, this is like,
Right.
promoting yourself to a just a more advanced level creative direction when it comes to personalized designs that are way less competitive. You have a better edge. And in my opinion, it makes the cost of your platform just not even a question, right? For people getting started, there's a cost to start an Etsy shop, there's a cost to list,
Hmm.
there's a commission, so people have fees very minimal, especially, when you think of the opportunity cost that you're missing out if you don't do this.
Right.
But it makes, your membership fee just such a no brainer, for
Right.
especially existing shops, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you couldn't hire somebody for, what we charge. And we're kind of unique in kind of this POD tool space where we don't charge anything per order. So you still get to keep
Mm,
100% of your profits. The only thing we ever charge is a monthly fee that we have plans starting at $10 a month. So we try to,
amazing.
get some entry level plans. We know everybody starting out isn't able to kind of do everything you want right out of the gate, right?
Yeah,
But it can really be a big benefit. I mean, you can hire somebody, even a VA, that
true.
cheap to do what you're doing with Anywhere POD, especially when you get into some of the other. So, we've talked a lot about personalization, which is huge. That's our kind of flagship feature set, but we're
Yeah.
also really focused on automation as well. So anything that we can
Mhm.
do tasks that we can automate that you don't have to kind of manually do every time. One of the big ones we have is mockups. So if you're using your own mockup images and you're now having to every design go into Canva or go into Photoshop and create those and
Yes.
download them, you can add that as a mockup template in Anywhere POD. And then in the future, anytime you create, say, a Gildan 5000, it's just going to
Hmm.
automatically generate your mockups for you without you having to
Wow.
lift a finger. So it can really, really speed up that kind of creation process as well.
It's amazing. I mean, one of the things that my team, as we were doing the research on how we wanted to teach print on demand, and your
Mm-hmm.
software is totally came up. I mean, this is such an organic relationship. We've been using it before we even talked to you. One thing that I think people praise is just how involved you are in the community. Like, how is it for you to be so involved in the community, but also probably on the background, like actually doing the coding and the bringing it? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of fun. So, to me, it's always surprising companies that don't spend that time and focus on their customers, right? Like it's
Yeah,
like that,
very
like
rare.
they're like your bread and butter. Like, why are you not like doing everything you can to help them? And honestly, it's such a huge benefit to us, right? Like if we have somebody reaching out to customer service and asking us a question, like we encourage people to come to our customer service and ask a question, and we have super, super fast response times because we know how important that is. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's helping us because if you're asking that question, that's not a shortcoming on your side. That's on us, right? Like we haven't made it easy enough or we don't have the right training out there for you to be able to find. Like that really helps guide us in where the
Sure.
software needs to go. I always say we kind of offer the level of customer support that we always wish that we had in other software throughout
Yeah,
the years that like you never really get. Like I
totally.
hate on a Friday afternoon, you're like, okay, I'm going to spend all weekend working on this, and you run into a blocker Friday afternoon, and you're like, well, I hope they get back to me Monday or Tuesday. It's like,
Yeah.
that's not acceptable to us. So we try to help as much as we can, as fast as we can, and make ourselves very available because we know it's a business to you guys, so we know how important that is because we're small business owners too. So
Yeah. I love it. Speaking of the small business owner and just all of the changing landscape of Etsy and platforms, just all of the things in 2025, how have you seen AI, if you have it all, play a part in personalization or just, how you've seen the buyer behavior or anything? Is there anything that you have seen AI do across the board for Etsy in the past year or two?
yeah, so I mean, some of the stuff you can do with AI now is like absolutely amazing. And you might be seeing some things coming in the next few
Okay.
months with Anywhere POD that will help leverage some of that. But I see there being huge benefits there, not only on the artwork generation side, but also on helping on some of the SEO side. Some of what it can do with mockups now is absolutely amazing. I mean, up until kind of the last release with the Chat GPT 4.0, I think it was, where they updated kind of their image generation. What it can do with images now, it really, really is mind blowing. So
Yeah.
I would say stay tuned for some of that. We have some pretty cool stuff planned that no one else, we haven't seen anything else out in the market like it yet. That I think is
Neat.
really going to kind of help take designs and personalization and the listing process kind of to the next level.
No way. Love it. Love it,
Yeah,
love it,
it's
love
pretty.
it.
It's
Super
so
cool.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually invited to an influencer dinner with an AI company, just to hear about like some of the things going on with AI and that's available. And I think so many people are so intrigued and like concerned.
Yeah.
I've even seen bloggers that I know who are super talented be like, "Wait, my blog is getting less traffic than we think due to AI." But I want to use all my skills, and they're bringing it to Etsy. They're coming to Etsy
Right.
as in such a service because they have so many of the skills required to win on Etsy, SEO, knowing the demand, filling the needs. It's been
Right.
really interesting to see some pivots. But like you said, like being able to use AI to get better ideas and to kind of elevate your shop. I mean, better than ever. Our clients, we have like an AI bot that will assist them in all their writing that's really
Yep.
trained and stuff. So it's cool.
Yep.
It's really cool to see all the different ways that you can kind of leverage it.
It really makes such a good assistant. Like, it's not
Yes.
replacing what you're doing, but using it as like an assistant, or like you write the first draft and let it tweak it a little bit for you. There's a lot
Yeah.
of stuff that you can do there. We actually use it now in some of our customer support. So we have a
Good.
chat GPT agent that is trained on like all of our YouTube videos and all of our
Awesome.
like past live streams that we've done, along with all of our support tickets. And it kind of continues to update there. So
So cool.
we by no means want people to not write in, but it can give you such
Yeah.
fast answers. It's like,
Yeah.
it really, really is kind of a win-win that way, because you're able to get an answer right away, just like you're chatting with Chat GPT. I mean, it's using Chat GPT actually on the back end. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool what it can do.
I love it. I love it. Love it. When it comes to someone on the fence about diving in, would you say that they should just 100% go for it? Or what would you say, is there anything like a barrier to enter when it comes to the personalization area of print on demand?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, and really, this is kind of in general across the world of print on demand, right? Like, always my number one piece of advice for somebody that's just getting started is to just jump in and do it. And what I mean
Yeah,
by that is there are so many options with print on demand. You could spend a full 40 hours a week just researching new products and new print providers and new niches, and like never actually like build anything or design
sure.
anything, right? So I would say just like jump in and do it, because
Let the buyers
unfortunately,
decide.
right, right. Unfortunately, as humans, the way we learn a lot of times is by making a mistake. And if you never
Yes.
actually make that first listing, you're never going to make that mistake to learn from.
Yeah. You have to
I can
do it to
promise,
get that like barrier to enter and like
right,
everything moving up. Like if you watch my first YouTube video, like it's not well as lit as this is now,
right,
but it's like
right.
15, it's been 15 years. So
Yep. And I can almost promise you that first listing you do, you'll look back on it in 2 weeks and be like, why did I do it that way? And that doesn't matter if you create that first listing today or if you wait 2 weeks to create that first listing. So create
sure.
that first one today and get it out there. When it comes to personalization, if you're just starting out, I would focus on text personalization. It's
Yep.
really easy to do, can be a bit more automated and flow a little bit easier through Etsy. And then as you're ready to get into more advanced things, we have that tool set ready there for you.
That's
I
awesome.
will actually, I think we'll leave a link in the description down below. We actually have a personalization toolkit. So it's just a PDF toolkit with some kind of common best practices to get started. We have some data in there for you to kind of help you get started as well on some keywords that work well. And then actually it's just exclusive to the group that is watching this right now. So this is just going to be for
Heck
this
yeah.
group. We're actually doing a private workshop for you guys as well. So we'll have a link down in the description with the time and everything on that as well. And this is a live, like I said, just private workshop. It'll be a full kind of demo, Q&A. We'll give you a design to get started with. And it's really meant where you can kind of walk through that first product with us, walk through the creation of it, all that sort of thing, before
Yeah.
you are kind of creating your own designs.
Yeah. I
And
mean, I
it's
think this software and like just this opportunity is going to blow so many people away. I feel like they don't even know that being able to personalize and do print on demand, like it really does feel like to me like the best of both worlds because so many people who I know sell physical, they love
Uh-huh.
offering personalization. They feel so in service to their customer. That's why people go to them. And now to
Right.
be able to bring that to strangers and like be able to get paid really well for it and have it automated, it's such a beautiful evolution of the print on demand, community, and really letting people have the maximum return on their time.
Right.
And
Right.
again, giving themselves that promotion, like because, like you
Exactly.
said, like you don't want to hear the cha-ching and then be like, oh, tonight after my
Ah,
kids are
shoot.
in bed, I have to do, who knows how many steps. So,
Right.
this really
Right.
takes it down to a fourth, if not a fifth of the time, right?
Right.
To
Yeah.
be able to do that.
We have so many sellers that were like, oh, I never wanted to offer personalization. I didn't want to do it because they know how much work it is, right?
Yeah,
And then they get on with Anywhere PD and they're like, is it really this easy? Like, this is it? So it really is a game changer. Honestly, if you're not offering personalization on your shop, you're really missing out. I mean, they're running Super Bowl ads telling people, come to Etsy to find that unique personalized gift. So if they're coming to
yes,
Etsy looking for that and they land on your listing and that's not it, they're bailing because they're looking for
yeah,
something that is that unique, personalized feeling. So if you're not offering that, you're really just leaving money on the table. So
totally. I
it's
mean, I'm
almost a
even seeing like
must now.
Etsy gift cards. Like there's like you can
Yeah,
get an Etsy gift card from
right,
Target. Like come on,
right.
like let's go. Like it's incredible. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so incredible to see just the evolution and to feel so well supported by a company that, it's a partnership.
absolutely,
You Etsy wins when you win. That's literally the business model. So,
exactly.
they want to be able to, integrate with print on demand. They want to be able to integrate with, anywhere POD to give that level of customization to the end user and provide a really great product that honestly many of us couldn't make at home. And I
Right.
think, that is so incredible. I think for a lot of us to continue crafting for my audience, crafting their favorite crafts in their home and still having a print on demand business, I think is becoming a quite a bit normal here in our
Mhm.
community, which has been awesome. So, Chris, do you have
Yeah.
anything else you want to, share? I feel like we've touched on so many cool stories about like how the software has helped and just personalization in general. Anything we left out?
One thing I should mention, we also have, I didn't mention earlier when I was talking about all the information we're putting in the description down
Yeah.
below. We're also giving you guys a coupon code. So you can try
Thank
out
you.
Anywhere POD for the first month completely for free. It works on any of the tiers. So you can get our top Pro
Heck
Plus
yeah.
plan, be able to check out all of the features kind of commitment free for that first month. So I would recommend sign up for that, get in there, get your account created and set up. And then make sure to grab that personalization toolkit and we'll send you a reminder for that workshop that I was
Heck
talking
yeah.
about. Make sure to jump in there and get started with that. It's a huge, we find users that are able to kind of jump in and get started right away with us there, be able to, we answer questions in real time, that sort of thing. It really kind of helps you be more successful with the software overall. So,
Yeah.
that would be my recommendation there.
Amazing. Well, Chris, we're so excited. Everybody get the toolkit. Check out the description. We'll put a bunch of links to Chris, everything he mentioned, the coupon code. Check it out. I mean, it's what we're using to do our print on demand with personalization. That's how we're teaching. So I think everyone at home, whether you're in our communities, inside passive earners, or you have no idea about personalization, definitely check out everything Chris has. Such a leader in this evolution. Chris, thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you. We really appreciate it. I'm excited to see what's next. I mean, y'all, he alluded to some really cool stuff. So I'm super excited to stay tuned. We'll have to bring you back, maybe even come live and do like a demo. I think it would be super cool. So we'll definitely have to have you back.
That would be awesome. I'd love to do it. Thanks for the time today. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Alrighty. Thanks. Take care.